Following breaking news, there's a press conference now about that shooting in Germantown. We have it live for you right now.
We believe that the man with whom the gunman was having the altercation is the person who was fatally shot. One person was fatally shot. We have 5 others who are confirmed gunshot victims who are all non-critical. There is one other individual who was transported to a hospital with a possible graze wound, although it's described as a scratch that could have been inflicted by brushing against a sharp piece of furniture. So we're not sure whether that person has a gunshot wound or whether that scratch came from something else inside. And there is yet another individual who had a panic attack and wanted to go to the hospital to be checked out. So a total of 8 persons were transported from this scene. One of them deceased, 5 others confirmed gunshot victims, 1 other with a scratch, the cause of which we're not sure at this point, and then 1 person who wanted to go to the hospital due to a panic attack. The business has very clear surveillance footage. We have released those images now. You have 2 photographs that have been released of the gunman, and then you also have a photograph of the Mercedes GL 450 in which he fled the area. We are almost certain we have the gunman identified, but we're still going on exact 100% confirmation of that, so we're not ready to release his name at this point, but you all see his images. I would urge anyone in the Middle Tennessee area who sees this man or the Mercedes to please contact the Nashville Police Department at 615-862-8600. From the information that we have at this point, the gunman was the only one who brandished a pistol. This was not a shootout, if you will. This was one person who decided to pull a gun based on an altercation occurring with another man. And then he fired multiple shots, resulting in the injuries that I've just described. With me is Commander Anthony McLean. Commander McLean oversees the North Precinct, the area in which we are now. And if you have questions about this particular area, Commander McLean can answer those. Do you have anything specific as to the shooting? And I will try to answer those.
We heard that there was a pregnant woman who was transported. And
that is the woman with the panic attack,
okay,
who was very panicked about what happened, and given her condition, she wanted to go to the hospital and be checked out. She was not wounded by what occurred inside.
Do we know the relationship between the 2 men and if they knew each other?
Not at this point. From what we're hearing, the 2 got into an argument that significantly escalated within moments. We are hearing that the gunman arrived just minutes before this happened. We don't have any indication that they knew each other at this point.
And the gunman arrived alone or with others?
He arrived with a female, and the female left with him.
Do we know what the altercation was about?
It may have been something as simple as one person invading another person's space. But again, we need to advance the investigation and learn more. We have officers with victims at least 3 hospitals, interviewing them to see what they exactly saw. But initially, it could be something as simple as one person invading another person's space.
Have we had any previous reports about concerns with this establishment or anything?
I'll let Commander McLean talk about the area. Anything else about the shooting incident itself?
Do you know how many other people were inside the restaurant?
There were many people inside. This was a Sunday brunch scenario. They were serving food. There were people sitting down dining when this erupted. Okay. Commander McLean can answer your question about
How you guys doing? So the question that you had about issues at that particular location,
right,
we haven't had any significant issues at that location. It has recently, within the last year or so, changed hands, ownership. But until this date, we haven't had any significant issues at that location.
I mean, can you tell us about the place? Is it a popular spot?
I believe it's a popular spot, but mainly it's just a brunch location where people come to eat, and to, socialize and things of that nature. So again, it changed hands. I haven't met the new owners as of yet. I plan to do so, but like I said before, we haven't had any major or significant issues at that location.
You've spoken to some of the people inside the restaurant. You know, what were they saying? What was it like, you know, after the gunfire kind of erupted? Well,
it's kind of a panic. So obviously from the video, everyone's trying to get out and trying to escape the gunfire. Some people did try to resist the gunman. So it's just mass chaos. It's the best way I can describe it.
Are you surprised to see this in this area?
I am. I really am, especially on a holiday, right? It's Easter Sunday. We didn't expect to have this, but be that as it may, we're going to do everything we can to get the suspect into custody and to bring him to justice. So.
Anything that you want the people living here to know? I mean, again, like you said,
this was an isolated incident, obviously. It's not something that's indicative of this particular area. As you can see, the area is really nice. It's just an isolated incident, and we'll make sure that we do all we can, like I say, to get the suspect into custody.
So the police department's homicide team is leading the investigation. Detectives from the Titans unit of the Specialized Investigations Division are here, and you all know from what you've heard from us over the past couple of years, the Titans unit specializes in finding persons responsible for gunfire in neighborhoods. They're very good at what they do, and a team of Titans detectives some of them are still here, others are gone elsewhere in the field to try to apprehend this individual, confirm his identity, and apprehend him. So there's a lot of work being put in right now to try to locate this man and get him off the streets. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, McLean, MC, I'm sorry, Anthony McLean.
That was Nashville police talking about the shooting that occurred today at a coffee shop in Nashville's Germantown neighborhood on Garfield Street. According to police, 8 people were involved. 5 people were shot and 1 person has died. Tragic day here on Easter Sunday in Nashville. Now, we'll have the latest information online and on air on WKRN.com.